She runs every morning.
She runs every morning.
She sings in the choir.
She sings in the choir.
He jumped over the fence.
He jumped over the fence.
I ate the last slice of pizza.
I ate the last slice of pizza.
The dog barked loudly at the mailman.
The dog barked loudly at the mailman.
We danced all night long.
We danced all night long.
She drives to work every day.
She drives to work every day.
They built a sand castle at the beach.
They built a sand castle at the beach.
The kids played in the park.
The kids played in the park.
We watched the sunset by the beach.
We watched the sunset by the beach.
I cleaned my room this morning.
I cleaned my room this morning.
She read the book in one sitting.
She read the book in one sitting.
He paints landscapes for a living.
He paints landscapes for a living.
She writes in her journal every evening.
She writes in her journal every evening.
He bakes cake every Sunday.
He bakes cake every Sunday.
She swam across the river.
She swam across the river.
She cooked dinner for their family.
She cooked dinner for their family.
The cat climbed the tree to escape.
The cat climbed the tree to escape.
She learned to play the piano.
She learned to play the piano.
She taught the class how to solve the problem.
She taught the class how to solve the problem.
We celebrated her birthday at a restaurant.
We celebrated her birthday at a restaurant.
She worked late into the night.
She worked late into the night.
I traveled to Paris last summer.
I traveled to Paris last summer.
She visited her grandparents last weekend.
She visited her grandparents last weekend.
The children threw snowballs at each other.
The children threw snowballs at each other.
She opened the gift with excitement.
She opened the gift with excitement.
He scored the winning goal.
He scored the winning goal.
I finished my homework early.
I finished my homework early.
They planted a tree in the backyard.
They planted a tree in the backyard.
He purchased a new car.
He purchased a new car.
She hugged her friend tightly.
She hugged her friend tightly.
They pushed the car out of the mud.
They pushed the car out of the mud.
He helped us with the project.
She helped us with the project.
She drew a beautiful picture.
She drew a beautiful picture.
He opened the door and stepped outside.
He opened the door and stepped outside.
She arranged the flowers in a vase.
She arranged the flowers in a vase.
We crossed the bridge at dawn.
We crossed the bridge at dawn.
They studied for hours before the test.
They studied for hours before the test.
She made a surprise announcement.
She made a surprise announcement.
He examined the document carefully.
He examined the document carefully.
She shopped for groceries in the morning.
She shopped for groceries in the morning.
They walked through the forest trail.
They walked through the forest trail.
He tore the paper in half.
He tore the paper in half.
He rode his bicycle to work.
He rode his bicycle to work.
She sent an email to her boss.
She sent an email to her boss.
He laughed at the funny joke.
He laughed at the funny joke.
He flew to New York for a meeting.
He flew to New York for a meeting.
I attended a conference last month.
I attended a conference last month.
I listened to the podcast while driving.
I listened to the podcast while driving.
She received a letter in the mail.
She received a letter in the mail.
He swept the floor before dinner.
He swept the floor before dinner.
I joined the gym to stay fit.
I joined the gym to stay fit.
She fixed the broken chair.
She fixed the broken chair.
They decorated the house for the holiday.
They decorated the house for the holiday.
She sprints every morning.
She sprints every morning.
She organized her closet after lunch.
She organized her closet after lunch.
She sleeps at 9 p.m. every day.
She sleeps at 9 p.m. every day.
She talked for hours with her friend.
She talked for hours with her friend.
She treats her patients every day.
She treats her patients every day.
She picks the flowers from the garden.
She picks the flowers from the garden.
He smells the flower.
She smells the flower.
The audience clapped enthusiastically.
The audience clapped enthusiastically.
She rubbed her eyes after a long day of studying.
She rubbed her eyes after a long day of studying.
He glanced at the clock.
He glanced at the clock.
She mended the tear in her jacket. She mended the tear in her jacket. He kicked the ball across the field.
He kicked the ball across the field.
She barely managed to catch the train.
She barely managed to catch the train.